Hello, friends. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you don't know me, my name is Tiara, and I am here today because I love having conversations with leaders. Most of my clients are impending leaders. They're on the way up, and there's a lot of them that are well established, and I'm just giving tips of how I've helped to coach them into success along that journey. It is my ministry, it is my calling to help bring people into victory. And tonight's victory is all about teaching you how to access and proclaim your generational wealth. This is going to be a very important broadcast. Just in case you don't know what I do, like I said, I help leaders create great content, and I create great content for leaders. Me and my family have a family business. It's called MVP Studio. It's a podcasting or a content creation studio. In addition, we do real-time social media coverage at events or public speaking engagements. So if you need a paparazzi team to come out and make sure they're maximizing your moments, just give us a call. We're happy to come out and support you with your next event. Anyhow, I want to get right into this, because this is so important. This was heavy on my heart. And there's one thing I hate hearing people say, and trust me, I have lived in almost every ghetto in Columbus, Ohio. I'm from nowhere. I'm from absolutely nothing. But I took this language out of my vocabulary, and I'm a stickler language. If anyone knows me, they know how important language is to me. I hate when I hear people say I'm broke. And I hate when people say that my family has left me no inheritance or we don't have any generational wealth. That is not true. We're going to dispel those myths today. And what I'm going to talk to you about in this broadcast is how you can learn how to develop the eyes to see your generational wealth, see what's in your hand, see the gifts, the skills, the talent, the favor that God has given you. And I love to put this disclaimer out there. This is a kingdom conversation. Okay? Those of you who are members of this kingdom, you know who you are. This message is for you. If you are interested in becoming a member of this kingdom, please hit me up in Messenger. I'm more than happy to talk to you about my faith and what I believe. But this is a kingdom conversation. This is going to take faith. This is going to give you the eyes that you need to access the wealth that's in your life, and you have it right now. You just don't know that you have it. Everyone has it. Some people see it, some people don't. Some people value it, some people do not. They haven't been taught, or they don't know, or they don't believe. They've been through so much. But I'm telling you, I'm here to tell you today that as long as you are alive, as long as you have breath in your lungs, as long as you have another chance, another opportunity, generational wealth is yours. But I want to teach you in this moment, in this broadcast, how you are going to access it. But first, I want you to stop seeing yourself as worthless. You got to get your self-worth up. You've got to get your value up. Sometimes that's the help of some of your mental health professionals, some of your life coaches. I'm happy to share with you some of the resources of the people that I've talked to who do that kind of work. But I just want to give you the chance that you need to know how to communicate with yourself, because that's what I do. I'm a communications professional, and I love giving tips and strategies to leaders to help them both personally and professionally. So one, I'm just teaching you how to communicate with yourself about how to access the wealth that God has put in your body. Okay, so I want you to think of number one, what has your family taught you? Were you taught recipes? Were you taught how to fix things? What have you been taught? What's been passed down to you? Just because grandpa wasn't rich when he did it doesn't mean that you can't be, okay? There are so many people that took a cookie recipe and now they're, I don't know, Cheryl's Cookies, and they're booming, they're big all over the world. You just don't know the value of what has been passed down to you, because you don't know the business model behind it, and that's okay. A lot of that information is one class away. One class away. All it takes is education. That does not mean you're not wealthy. The wealth is in your body. You are the wealth. It is time for you to manifest in this season, in this hour, what God is giving you, the seeds that have been producing you, the gifts that's been given to you. The inheritance was the talent. The inheritance was the lesson sometimes. The inheritance may not have been the cash. Sometimes the inheritance is what grandpa taught you or grandma taught you. Sometimes it was that garden they had you work on. They may not have had a family business, but maybe they've given you a skill, a gift, a talent that you have to learn how to mobilize. You may need to learn how to invest the proper information in yourself so that you can take that talent and expand it into a business model. And there are so many free classes and workshops and different things that are out there that will teach you how to do that. You just need to invest your time and your resources into educating yourself. You're already wealthy. You already have it. You've got the gift. Now it's time to plant it and water it so that you can produce a harvest for yourself. Sometimes the generational wealth is your story. And I want to say this to some of us who do not have a very easy story to listen to. But guess what? Some people have turned that story into a best-selling book. Some people have turned their story into a movie. Some people have turned their story into a Netflix series. Because you know what? It's those sort of stories that produces the information that other people need to see. Do not. I understand if you didn't have a good family, if you didn't have a good background, maybe someone didn't love you enough, maybe you were abused or neglected. But guess what? Lifetime is an entire movie network of people's stories, women's stories who've been neglected and abused and hurt. Your story might be your wealth. Did you consider that? Are you writing that screenplay? Are you putting pen to paper? Are you taking a look at those classes and workshops that will help you actualize and materialize the story that will set other people free? Because sometimes people don't know what you're going through. You may need to do the work to get past the shame and to get past the fear and to get past the trauma so that you can unapologetically tell your story. Tell it on that TEDx stage. Become the motivational speaker that you're supposed to be. Be that person who gets the $10,000 fee for coming out to speak and to help other people. That might be your generational wealth. That might be your inheritance, but you may have to get past those hangups. What is step one? There's classes and there's workshops for that. All of these things are just education away. You're just not seeing it the way you need to see it. There's so many things that you can do. So many ways that you need to be able to take a look at yourself. Sometimes you need to take a look at the favor that you have. Maybe, well, children are attracted to me. Animals are attracted to me. What is it? What kind of favor do you have in your life that there are people who are attracted to you? Guess what that makes you? It makes you influential to an audience. And guess what? People have built entire industries on one type of person or an audience that had favor. Right? I want you to think about it that way. Think about who you have favor with. Think about the people who are drawn to you. Are they artists? There's the market. Like I said, is it kids? Is it leaders? Who is attracted to you? I want you to learn to see the value in who you are. A lot of the things that you do naturally, just breathing, you get up and this is what you do. You just don't know the value of those things. You don't know how to monetize it. You don't know how to put it into a model. You may not know how to put it into paper. Some of these things are going to require us to slow down. Take inventory of what is in your hand, what's in your heart, and stay committed and dedicated. And don't focus on the people who are not supporting it, because there's an entire market of people who will if you do the research. Again, a lot of this is education away. It's a class away. You may have to get around the right people. So many of you have books in you. So many of you have deals in you. So many of you are fantastic athletes. Some of you are coaches. Some of you are great encouragers. There's some people who they're so good at talking to people. Is that a gift of yours? Are you good at talking to people? That they have talk shows on the radio, on television. They knew how to monetize their gift. Generational wealth is not just you being handed a check. It's you being able to take a skill and ability, something that was passed down to you. Some of those things were passed down to you in hardship. Some of those things are passed down to you so that you could survive. Some of those skills are passed down to you in very heartbreaking ways. But that's okay. It's up to you to make the most of what you've been through. Your story does not have to end with the sadness, the heartbreak, the heartache, the pain. You can make something of that story. You can take what was done to you in pain and work. Let the Lord do that great work in you to make it grand, make it work to your benefit. That's up to you and God. You can do this. You do have the wealth in you. That $10,000 check, $20,000 check, $50,000 check, that's for you. You just are afraid to ask for it. You may not know how to go out and ask, but guess what? That's a class. That's a workshop. You can learn these things. It's just a way of thinking. So learn how to see yourself as unique and beautiful and incredible. Talk to yourself about this. Communicate with yourself. You need to change the dialogue in yourself about what you've been through, what you have suffered, what you have experienced, what you've been passed down, the talent that you have in your body, the gifts, the skills that you have in you. Have a whole other conversation with yourself about it. Write those things down. Take some inventory. Find out how, how can I make a tech-based business model out of this? There's a problem that I keep running into. How do I solve this problem with technology? These are the questions that you ask yourself when you are ready to proclaim your generational wealth. Because wealthy people are addictive problem solvers. Problem solvers. So don't sit around complaining about those things. You can give yourself some time to complain, but there's a time where it's now time for you to solve this problem. Face it. Because your deliverance and your wealth, come on, who am I talking to? It's in you solving this problem, not you running away from it, not you sitting around talking about it and yapping about it. Solve it. Master solving this problem. Master solving it so well that other people are now going to pay for your instruction because you got this. Come on out of that darkness. Stop seeing what you've been through as something that's holding you down when you can use that very same boulder to stand on as a rock to build you back up again. You can do this. This is how you get to generational wealth. Take a look. Just because your family didn't give you anything doesn't mean you can't give your kids nothing. Let that poverty mindset die with the last generation. But for you, what you give your children, what you do for your family from this moment on is 100% up to you. No, we cannot change the things that happen to us, but we are 100% responsible for our attitude in the process. And if you can learn the value of your story, if you can learn to take inventory of all the skills, the ability that's been put into you, everything that's been poured into you over the years, whether you had a good teacher, whether you had a good parent, whether you had good friends, whatever the case may be, that someone took the time to teach you something, take it. Take it. Be a good steward over your experience and make the most of that experience and allow yourself to grow and allow yourself to grow joyful, healthy, and wealthy. We're on our way, friends. We are on our way. I am telling you. But we have to change the inner dialogue. We have to see our experiences differently. We have to see our talents differently. We have to see our gifts differently. No more letting people tell you what you are worth to them. If they cannot afford you, it's okay to say, hey, it's time to part ways. If they can't afford you spiritually, mentally, emotionally, financially, it is okay to let people go. And sometimes that's our problem, is that we're not ready to let people go yet so that we can rise. But let them go. And guess what? One day, they just may ask you how. How did you do that? And then they can come up with you. But it is time now. It is this time in our lives where we have to make people come up to where we are instead of us bringing ourselves down to where they are. Because those are the things that's keeping us in poverty. That's the reason why our families or we don't have the generational wealth. Because some people are so invested in cousin such and such as bail versus your college education or this and that. It's time to be good stewards over our gifts. It's time to be good stewards over our experiences. It's time to be faithful over what is in our hand. See the value of it. See the beauty in it. See the beauty in your uniqueness. Because you are incredible. You're incredible. Look what you survived. Look what you've been through. Look what you've gained. You're brilliant. So get paid for it. Anyhow, I really hope this was so helpful, guys. I want to thank everyone who watched this broadcast. Please tag some friends and share it with people who need to hear this kind of encouragement today. I am your coach. I am here to help you with that inner dialogue, to give you what you need. Go back and watch some of my other broadcasts. We've talked about other things, just like the power of words. We talked about destiny. If you were trying to figure out who you are, that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to push you into victory because I will accept nothing less from you. I love you. And I'm here to have these kingdom conversations with you, remind you who you are, because on the inside, there's a part of you that knows. And you know why I know you know? Because you're watching this broadcast. Because there's something in you that is not content with where you are right now. There's something about you that will not let you sleep or rest until you get this done. So I hope that you continue to fill your mind, your heart, your body with good content that will help inspire you to take your lives to the next level. So thank you so much. Again, claim your generational wealth. See the gifts in your hand. See the opportunity. Learn how to develop the eyes for it so that you can maximize on the moments that made you. God bless, and I hope you have a great night.